What is happening, everybody? Welcome to episode 74. Yeah, 74. 74 weeks in a row, this show, Collecting Profit, this podcast that started with me and my partner, my buddy, my brother, Anthony Pittsburgh, 74 weeks ago. Still, still going, still trying to bring content every single week. Some weeks better than others. Uh, there was a change this week. We're supposed to have a guest, but was not able to make it, but has been rescheduled. One of the good things we got going on is we do have guests the next 3 weeks now. Next week, we're going to have Juice from Loot the Box TV coming back on. Following week, we're going to have another returning guest. We are going to have um, Jesse from Card Lines. And the following week after that, which is the 19th of June, we will have Midwest Box Breaks. Hopefully we'll learn about some breaking and stuff. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today, Lockin, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. One of the things I want to talk about today was, a lot of people were complaining about some of the pricing on eBay about, like 2023 platinum anniversary cards, the pricing and everything. And, I think we have to realize that, and we've said it a number of times, excuse me, on the show throughout the 74 episodes, was that buying single. What's up, Anthony? How you doing? Hope you are doing well, sir. Hope you had a great time in Atlanta at the Lorcana convention slash event. Hope we did well. But like we've said, you have to understand that when a new release comes out, the person or people who can list them the quickest will be able to charge a little more than they should. Why is that? Because they're the first to market. And when you're the first to market, you set the price. It doesn't make a difference whether it is a base card of a non-all-star player. You get to go ahead and set that market. That's just the way it is. Now, you have to be smart, because if you throw your cards up there, your low-end cards, your base cards up there at too high of a price, and you're not paying attention, and a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and you're not looking at that and making adjustments, then your cards are going to just sit there, and they're not going to sell. So, that's something to take into consideration when you are, listing, these cards as, again, as you're going on. So something to keep in mind, something you have to be mindful of, when you list a new release, you have to pay more attention. You really can't, well, I should say, if you're going to try and charge more, if your base, if you're an eBay seller and you're selling a lot of, the base cards for people to build sets and stuff like that, and your low end is $1.75, and Platinum Anniversary comes out, you're one of the first ones, and you say, hey, I should be able to squeeze another quarter, another 30 cents out of these cards because I'm the first one coming to the market. Well, although that sounds great in theory, and it will work if you can get your cards listed quickly, after that first week, at $2 or $2.05 or $2.10, you're not going to be the lowest anymore, because there's going to be other people that are going to come in and be in that $1.80, $1.75, or lower. So, you could keep them a little higher, but you're going to have to go through and really pay attention, because if you want to sell them while there's still a lot of eyeballs on them, you really need to be at where the market price is, not your own thing. What's up, Kenny? How you doing? How you feeling, buddy? Oh, hey, it had to happen sooner or later, Lockin. I mean, the guy couldn't remain unhittable all year long. It's not like he's, you know, throwing low hundreds on a regular basis, or I should, well, maybe he is, but I don't know. I don't follow him along that much. Dami, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Doing good, feeling good. Way to go, Kenny. Hey, don't forget, give a thumbs up because Kenny's feeling good. But, you know, that's the way the market's going to go. I mean, you know, and that's really what has happened. It happened with even Series 1 base. Series 1 base. I mean, I didn't try and charge more. I just tried to get them listed as fast as possible to be able to, get as many cards sold as possible. So I put them at my normal, low dollar price. So I didn't see, the big bump. I might have taken some of the stars and bumped them up, another 15, 20 cents, but nothing, crazy. Dotmy's watching the Professional Women's Hockey League final championship game. I knew they had the PWHL. I didn't realize they were already. I thought they were just getting started this year. I didn't realize that they were already in the finals. That's pretty cool. Excuse me. So again, hopefully, if you're selling cards, you're making money, or recovering or recuperating some of the money, depending on what you bought, what you're selling. If you're buying current, you're buying retail, or you're buying, at the card shop, a lot different than if you're going to a show and scouring quarter boxes, 50-cent boxes, dollar boxes, trying to, find those gems. But Sean's in the house. How you doing, Sean? Hope all is well. So our baseball season came to an end. I don't know if I talked about that. And it was interesting because, actually, some of the guys, some of the guys were into cards, which is pretty cool. So, able to, talk some card stuff with some of the players. Nice to know you're doing well. Good. Talking cards with some of the players, was pretty cool. Got a couple. I actually even got a couple of new subs this year for some new players on the team. And as you can see by the background, we are not at our normal Huddle Card HQ. We are on the road again. So it's crazy. Finally, this job is very close to being over, so I'm happy about that. Man, I am back. I'm back where I've been. Actually, the funny thing is this is the exact same room I had last week. Last week when I was here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, this is the exact same room. I'm still in but no, not a Holiday Inn. I'm a Hilton Garden Inn. But I'm in Auburn, Alabama again. I think I'm 6 out of the last 8 weeks. I think it might have been doing a show from the road, which is cool. Which is cool. So, excuse me. So I hope all you guys are doing well. It's tough. I mean, it's that weird week, right? We had Monday off. It's kind of sort of the start of summer, but not really the start of summer. You know, uh, back back ass woods, Alabama. Yeah, actually, I mean, it's pretty nice. It's not that bad around here. Uh, I'm not seeing the deep countryside of Alabama. From that standpoint, but I'm looking forward to going home and having a couple of weeks of sleeping in my own bed. It'll be nice. I will say, you know, one of the things that this travel has done for me, uh, it has made me rethink when I have listings on eBay ending. I would really never do anything with that. When I would go to my seller hub and it would say, oh, you got, 40 items that are going to end today, I would be like, yeah, whatever, not going to worry about it and stuff. I will say that traveling as much as I have over the last, month and a half, uh, has really gone ahead and make me rethink how I handle listings that are ending each day. Why does Alabama not have a major league team? I don't know. This is a joke somewhere. If it's not a joke, I would say it's probably because of the baseball team from Georgia would not want another one so close to them. What I think of. They do have minor league baseball, and I'll get to that. Oh, uh, do have some good minor league baseball, and I will get to that. But one of the things that it has made me look at is say, okay, being traveling so much, not being able to list new inventory. What I have started to do now is take the items that are going to end. I end those early, and then I do sell similar, and then I to break it up depending on how many I have. So if I like today, I had 40 listings that were going to end. So, excuse me. So what I did was I ended those 40. I took the first 20, did sell similar, but rather than submit them and list them right away, I schedule those listings out. So now I have listings every morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, anywhere from like 10 to 20, or maybe, a little more depending on how many, but somewhere in that 10 to 25 range that will automatically, will list at 7 o'clock in the morning, actually through like June 4th, June 5th. So it looks like I have my fresh inventory showing up, which is going to help me with my algorithm. Hello, Aiden. How are you? Oh, that's a good price. Glad you went ahead and got them for that amount of money. Aiden, how you doing, buddy? I hope all is well with you. Hope all is well. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, yes, the algorithm. But um, um, the algorithm is okay if that's what you like. I don't necessarily like the algorithm, but it's it's I mean, you have to go ahead and you have to uh, you have to play that game. I mean, there's not a lot you can do. I think a lot of the if you can't list every single day, which you know, I mean, I could set them up the same way. Like I could do the exact same thing if I was able to scan your inventory, but being gone so much and then getting caught up on getting caught up on my on my orders and shipping, and then all the other stuff I had to do, it was hard to get new scans done and new listings done. So to be able to, you know, have eBay know that I'm, working my store, trying to go ahead and be consistent, I have to do it, this way. I mean, the algorithm is the algorithm. There's no real way we can go ahead and, and get around it. Boone got ejected in the first inning again. My gosh, what the heck did he do? From that standpoint. Yeah, I mean, the algorithm, like, there's nothing, you have. I mean, I don't know. All I can say is, what I've noticed for me, if I don't list, what's up, John? How you doing, buddy? If I don't list, I don't sell. So being that I can't, I can't list that often, these last bunch of weeks, it was hard for me. I had to go ahead and do it this way, and it worked. Over the weekend, I had probably about, 10 sales or so. I got 6 sales, over the last, today's Wednesday. So over the last, last day and 2 days, I've gotten, 6 or 7 more sales. So, so for all, we want to believe that the algorithm, is something that, is just a myth or something like that. I don't necessarily believe that. I'm doing well, John, doing well. Got a little, got a little cough congestion thing going on right now. You know, yeah, Aiden, how did your season go, buddy? Did I miss anybody or miss anything? I don't think I did. Um, so, from that standpoint, and that's the way I looked at it, but, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Um, Probably a couple of good nights sleep at home and stuff like that will go ahead and help. But well, I got to go back to Sean. So Sean, about why is Major League Baseball in Alabama? I don't know. I know they do have a bunch of minor league baseball over the holiday weekend. Uh, my wife and I went to see my daughter and son-in-law in Huntsville, Alabama. And in Huntsville, they have a minor double A Los Angeles Angels team. And they are called the Rocket City Trash Bandits, which is pretty cool. And they played the Montgomery Biscuits, another Alabama team. I am in Auburn, Alabama again. So, and it was a really good game. Really, really good game. So it was a really good game. The stadium's pretty cool. Got to see Ben Joyce pitch, who had come up last year for in the big leagues. He was there. There were it's weird, Double A. I don't know. The baseball was good. Um, the pitching was good. Guys were really doing really, really well. Um, the play ended on a phenomenal double play. um, so they went extra innings, and in like the majors and the minor leagues, they put a runner on second base, nobody out, and Montgomery came up. They got their runner in, and next inning, bottom of the 10th inning, Trash Pandas come up. They get their guy over with one out. The next hitter up, I think, who was I think the number 3 hitter, hits a fly ball to right field. The right fielder, goes back, comes in, has a great charge on the ball. Boom, glove, a missile to home plate for a game-ending double play, tag out double play. Very, very crazy. Hey, Corey, how you doing, buddy? I don't wish for any player to go ahead and get hurt. Um, he is a really good player. Uh, if it goes ahead and it hurt and it makes that team play a little worse, I'm okay with that. But I don't want to see anybody get hurt. It's a shame. Oh, well, that is awesome. That's awesome, Dom. Minor league baseball is great. College baseball is great to go. Here in Auburn, I was able to go see one game. Uh, when they were in town. But I'm going to try and go to more, minor league baseball. Corey, Aiden sent you an email. Way to go. Nice trade. So, but it was it was great. It was really great. But I tell you, the one thing that I'm surprised about, and don't get me wrong, I understand that in sports, hitting a baseball is probably the hardest thing to do, in my opinion. The one thing that I'm very surprised about when we were watching them play is how terrible some of the batting average was for these players. Now, this is Double A baseball, so you got to figure most of these, most of these are young 20s. They're like Dom's age, just young men playing the game. And, you know, it's amazing how many of them, are hitting, 215, 210, 205, 198. It's out of the guys that were starters, and this was not guys that were coming in off the bench. These were starters, and I'm thinking, wow. I mean, I understand, and I'm watching the pitching, you know. All right, Kenny. Hey, Kenny. Good luck at your appointment tomorrow, buddy. As always, prayers for you. Continue that fight, brother. But like I was saying, it's just amazing to me. Like I said, the batting averages of some of these guys. It's like they're not, and it's Double A baseball. Don't get me wrong. There are guys that were throwing, I mean, aside from Ben Joyce, who came in and he was throwing between 100 and 102 pretty much. Just, I mean, just he struck the three guys out that he went ahead and faced. It was just like boom, 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 boom. It was crazy. But a lot of these other guys, they're throwing low 90s, mid 90s. Again, I'm not saying it's easy, but I was very surprised at at the batting average of the lack of you know the lack of high averages. I expected to see more guys around 300 or more or higher, and it wasn't there. It just was not there. So it was surprising, very very surprising. But I hope to get to some more. It was really cool. I liked it. I liked it. I like it a lot. You know. But we'll see what happens with baseball. I mean, my Mets keep taking a beating. And like I got a lot of you guys know. I don't know if you do know, but I still play baseball. I got a game this Saturday. You know, and and the funny thing is I've been a lot of the guys that I play with, they love the baseball team from Georgia, and so showing up at games is sometimes a real pain in the ass. Let's just put it that way. Thank God I like them all. Otherwise, I would have to go ahead and strangle some of them. All right, Aiden. Have a great night, buddy. Yeah, I know, Sean. It's tough, man. It's tough. These guys, they kill me. I'll have to check. I'll be home tomorrow, Corey. So I'll let you know tomorrow, my friend, for sure. Uh, whether I got it or not. I'll send you I'll send you an email. Um, yeah, I'll get home tomorrow, and I forgot to I knew you said I was coming. I forgot to ask my wife if anything showed up for me today. I am going to attempt rip and ship tomorrow, but I think I'm only going to do it if I can get some Chrome blasters or uh, Bowman Megas. I think that's it only pays if I can do that. Um, I have to see what's going on. I love doing the rip and ships and stuff, but it's just a little hard, trying to find the latest product and stuff like that for you guys and everything. It's not that easy, you know. You know, LCS, a couple of mine, they sell out quick. For that thing, am I buying Sapphire? No, I will not be buying Sapphire. And not that I'm not saying no because I don't like the cards. I love the Sapphire cards. Um, I'm just having a hard time finding the value, long term value, um, when buying that box. To me, you know, that is a boom or bust, or I should say, it's more of a bust with maybe sometimes a boom, buy. Um, yeah, so I doubt it. I may, yeah, you're not wrong. Sapphire is for stupidity. Um, I may see if Louisville Sports Cards has a break with it, and maybe buy the Mets. If they're not too stupid in price. Um, but other than that, I don't. I that's what makes it so hard to buy a product when the product is that damn expensive, man. When the product is that expensive. So I'm looking, yeah, see, Louisville Sports Cards, which is a guy that I will go ahead and join breaks with. He's not doing Sapphire right now. Maybe he will, but doesn't have it listed right now. Um, but like I said, if I buy Sapphire, if I were to buy Sapphire, let's say I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fork over the money to buy Sapphire. The truth is, I'm only buying Sapphire to be able to turn around and throw it up on eBay and sell the cards as fast as possible. I just don't. I don't really have a reason for keeping them. There's zero. I have zero reason. There is no reason for me to go ahead and keep the Sapphire cards. Other than the Mets. And in reality, what do I need? I need two, one for me, one for Mike, of each Mets card. You know. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I like Sapphire. I love the way the cards look. Um, I just don't see the value anymore in some of these products to go ahead and buy and everything. I did buy um, a bunch of. I'm wondering if the LCS is going to have it. Uh, but I really like, and I bought some of the blasters of WWE Chronicles. So I'm looking forward to opening that. I think that's going to be a very fun rip to go ahead and do. So I am buying that. Uh, just getting some water here together. Sorry. I am going to go ahead and get some of that. Lady in the Crown in Anaheim has a full size helmet of nachos. Oh, that's pretty cool. Very cool. Sean, or like I said, maybe I will. There are a few vendors in Yankee Stadium who sell the full size nacho helmets. Very cool. Uh, Sean, but I doubt it will be worth it. But when we're at nationals, if depending on how much it is, stuff like that, who knows? Maybe I'll go ahead, and pick some up at nationals. So, you know, but other than that, like I said, I look at Sapphire and I just sometimes I'm not sure that the overall value is there. That's my problem with it. It's not that it's a good product. It's not that I don't like the way it looks. You know, let me see here. Sports cards release dates. Yeah. So I mean, with Sapphire, yeah, Nationals is coming up soon, man. What are we? Well, today's the 29th, so we are what? 2 months away? Less than 2 months away? 7 weeks? Right? Because it ends on the 28th, I think, of July or the 29th of July. Uh, you know, what's crazy is the week after that is SummerSlam in Cleveland, man. So Cleveland gets the Nationals Sports Card Convention Show, and the week after they get WWE SummerSlam. So yeah, I'll probably try and get the Bowman Mega Boxes. See if I can grab a couple of those, depending on how the price is. Want to get Platinum Anniversary Blasters. I love those cards. I haven't seen them out in the wild, so it might only be it might be what do you call it? It might be hard to go ahead and get them. I don't know if the card shop will have them. I don't know if the card shop will be sold out. I was gone last weekend. When I was gone last week, got home on Friday, left on Saturday. I was in Auburn, Alabama at the end of the week. I got home on Friday, got in the car on Saturday, drove to Huntsville, Alabama, came back Monday, got in the car Tuesday, drove to Auburn, Alabama. So, yeah, cards and YouTubers, man, can't get any better. No, I tell you, gotta start to have to start to pay attention to some of the guys. Shields. They're what, Texas, I believe, for the most part. I haven't seen any Shields over here, but I've gone to a couple different places. I tried to look for some card shops here, but they all close at 5 o'clock, and I could never get there in time. So nothing I can do. I tried. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, yeah, they will have not in Texas. The national, you have they will have the big YouTuber show. That's something that we went to last year. If Maddie was here, I mean, it was me, Maddie, Theo. What did Theo show? Yeah, Theo. Doug, Don't Talk to Robot showed up, and bro, the Flying Dutchman was there. Christian was there. Man, we just had a bunch of people, and we went and hung out with the went to the YouTube show, because what you're gonna have is you'll have the bigger YouTubers that will have their own like trade nights going on. Like they'll have they'll do their thing in the hotel lobby. So if you're not staying in one of the big hotels, sometimes you don't find out about that stuff. But typically the YouTuber one gets thrown out there, so a lot of people will know, about it and everything. And that one's pretty cool. That one you will definitely, see a lot of the, big name ones. I mean, for me, with with the Collecting Profit show, that's where I was able to meet John from Chasing Majors and got him on the show. Victor, rookie card, what I call the rookie card guru, talked to him, got him on the show. There are a couple others that I'm still working on, that has just been from a date perspective, but I spoke to them at the Nationals, and we go back and forth and everything. So it's a great opportunity to to meet, see some of those guys, talk to them. And it's funny because when you watch them on YouTube and you see the size of some of these channels, it's easy to go ahead and sit there and go, yeah, I can't go talk to those people. I can't walk up to that table and introduce myself to, baseball collector, Chris Sewell, Jeremy Lee, some of these other guys. Now, this is not about whether you like them or not in the hobby. When you see those guys sitting there, you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot go by those guys and say anything. Look at the size of my channel, look at the size of their channel, look at who I am, so on and so forth. So from that standpoint, there is somewhat of a little bit, of an intimidating factor. But at the end of the day, when you do actually go ahead and break through and just go talk to them, you realize They're just guys or girls, and they're all doing the exact. We're all doing the exact same thing. We're chasing our PC. We're chasing cards that we want to have in our collection that might not even be a PC. You know what the difference is, and what I noticed the difference, big difference is the size that the amount of money that they can spend versus the amount of money that I was able to spend. Right. you know, those guys. Some of those guys, they'll tell you. They go to the national, and what they start doing is they start looking. What they have in their collection, and they say, okay, I'm going to go with this list of 10 cards, and I want to find 5 of them. And if I find more, I find more. If I have money left over, but they kind of have a dollar figure in mind, they have cards in mind, and they go from there. Yeah, everyday dudes, man. Everyday dudes. And again, they don't they don't do anything different. Well, there you go. I may have to go out there and get a couple just so I can go ahead and have them. Unfortunately, it won't do me any good for the Rip and Ship show. See, like for Sapphire, as you mentioned, Sean, I I don't think I'll get Sapphire at all because when I go to Beckett and I go to the checklist, the Mets don't even have an autograph. They don't even have an insert in Sapphire, unless they are completely wrong. So, at least some of these other ones, most teams, a bunch of teams, you can get an autograph. You can get but yeah. So I would say Sapphire is very, very, very low on the list. I tell you, one that's pretty cool. I like the Panini. Believe it or not, I like the what is it called? The Stars and Stripes. I like those, but they're getting to the point where same type of thing. Their boxes. You know, cards in a hobby box. Cards per pack, 8. Packs per hobby box, 1. 1. I mean, that's crazy. Some teams got next to nothing in Chrome Platinum too. I was wondering why. Yeah, yeah, you're right. What is up? Look who it is. It's Mr. Indy 500, Matty Ice. But yeah, and that's what's so weird. Like I can understand, but that's what's happening now. You know, Larkin, you have these I think we're back. I think we're back. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Come on. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. All right. Whew. Life of a nomad. On the road, on the road. So, Matt was going to tell us a joke. Now, Sean, that's not nice about Maddie's Pacers. I know how Maddie feels when you get hurt and stuff and you can't perform. Oh crap! I forgot where we were. Where was we? We just said hello to Matt, and then the shit hit the fan. What do you call a missing sock? This is a Dom thing, right? The sockless monster? Sockness monster? Lonely. What do you call a missing sock? Come on, man. How long does it take to? Now that's a bad dad joke right there. I like it. I like it. I like the dad joke. Good job, Maddie. Good job. So who did hit 2 home runs tonight? I saw Larkin went ahead and said, "Hey, guess who hit 2 home runs?" Now I gotta go look, Larkin. You know, come on, Oilers. Cause the toe, Nelson Velasquez. Nelson Velasquez. Arnie, how many of you ass donkeys are in for the Nationals and here on Thursday? Getting a list together who wants to go to the Indians day game versus the Tigers. All right, last day of school. Way to go. You finally going to graduate, Sean? I hope Florida takes the cup. um, Thank you. Sean's finally going to get a chance. Sean's going to graduate with some of the grandkids of his buddies. Yeah, I know I'll be in town for the Nationals. I'm not sure about the Thursday. I'm probably going to wind up going. I'll probably be at the Nationals most of the day, and then um, then usually Thursday night there'll be something going on and everything. So probably gonna want to hang out and go to some of the not necessarily the trade shows because I won't have anything that people are going to want to trade for, but go to like the YouTube stuff and those other meetups. Now, if Arnie has a suite where there's going to be free food, it does change some things. I wouldn't mind seeing, Riley Green. I think he'd be a good guy to go see. Get there early evening, hopefully on Thursday. Scooble, good pitcher. I like him a lot. Guy has a lot of potential. Good lefty. That's the problem. Yeah, I mean it's a long run from Indianapolis you know, to Cleveland. The highway is treacherous. It's crazy ass drivers. Well, hey, Sean, go bring a trash can, make him feel at home. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Well, I know you're asking. I know you're asking. I know you're asking Locke and Ani. But what were they gonna do? Were they gonna cut him? I mean, you still got to pay him. Were you gonna cut him? I mean, all these guys. They say the same thing. I'm like, I mean, you look at the Angels. The Angels did what they had to do with Albert. You know, but a lot of these guys who sign these contracts, that's what's going to wind up done. I mean, yeah, I think they screwed up with that. Definitely. Have a good night, Sean. Thanks a lot, buddy. We'll see you later. Um, I think they did screw up with that last extension. I don't think they needed to offer him uh, what they did. I think he would have stayed, for less. Um, but I think they offered him that because of what he was pursuing career wise. And I think they were willing to go ahead and take the chance and hope that he was obviously they wanted to be better than he was at the end, but I think because he was going for the milestones, they went ahead and said, "Hey, well, you know what? It'd be cool to have him hit those milestones wearing a Detroit Tigers uniform." That's all I can think of. Yeah, I definitely could see that type of stuff going on. I mean, you look at the baseball team from Georgia has been doing that for the longest time. They've been going ahead and getting their guys and locking them up. You know, I mean, I guess the only thing you have to, I guess the fear you have is, from a player standpoint, you know, I signed the deal. Now I got to perform. Uh, when you're signing these guys and they're a little younger, you got to be willing to take, some of the hardships at the beginning. I mean, yeah, nothing against, like a Julio Rodriguez, right? I mean, nothing against him. And that first year, uh, you know, he did very well, you know. But he signed that contract, and then what happened? When you look at his numbers now, here's the scary part, right? Julio Rodriguez is leading that team in batting. He's hitting 269. So what do you do? Yeah, by the time they are, yep, exactly. By the time arbitration dollars, let's say 12 million today, in 5 years, it may be 24 million. So why not bottom pay of 16 million? Yeah, now with upside. Oh no, I agree. To me, it makes sense. Look, I I'm hoping that the Mets decide to do that with, you know, Francisco Alvarez, with Brett Beatty, um, with Mark Vientos. I hope that if they, if these guys are in their long term plans, I hope they do that also. I definitely see it as being a smart play. And I think what you're going to wind up, and I think the reason why you're seeing some of these guys do it is because they're looking at Blake Snell, they're looking at Belly, they're looking at Matt Chapman, they're looking at a lot of these players who thought they were going to be signing these mega deals, and now what's happening? Now they're basically signing 3-year deals with the one with really it's really only a 1-year deal with opt outs. So I think that's what I think that's what they're doing. I think that's what they're gonna look at, because when you look at that type of thing, that's where we are today. These guys are not getting, so that when you're a little old, you might if you could get a giant chunk of money up front, go ahead and take it. I mean, any of these players that get offered, I'm sorry, and I don't mean like Juan Soto or something like that, but some of these guys are in the minors that are not really established. They're good minor league players, but we've seen a lot of good. We've seen a lot of great minor league players. They don't really turn out that well in the big leagues. Just as many great minor leaguers who become great major leaguers, there's been more great minor leaguers who haven't panned out. You know, Night locking. Hey, way to go, buddy. Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna. I don't think I know you're leaving locking. I don't think they're gonna pay Pete. I think you'll see Pete. Pete should be in a new uniform before the end of the Nationals, in my opinion. I think Pete will be gone within the next 2 months. I'm not sure what they'll be able to get for him, because it's not like he is, kicking major ass. Um, but yeah, I mean, he has 12 home runs, but he's hitting 231. I mean, hitting 231, not good. Not good. From that standpoint. So uh, we'll see what happens. Like I said, you know, the guy is phenomenal. I loathe the team that he plays on. Uh, I root for the day when he leaves that team. I don't wish any player ever to get injured. There's really no, there's no need to go ahead and have that. It just doesn't make it hurts the game of baseball overall. Now, all that being said, from a team perspective, if him getting hurt hurts the baseball team from Georgia, I'm not going to cry over it. From that standpoint, you know, it'll be funny to see how well they do because remember, there are a lot of people who have said he is not the greatest teammate. You look what happened, when he's playing, what have they won with this young core? Nothing. The 1 year he missed, look what happened. So, could that happen again? Gosh, I hope not. I don't need a flipping parade. I don't need the friggin' people around my house. I just don't need that in my life. I do not need that in my life. Now, the other Acuna, thoughts on the Peckerhead Hernandez, the jump up retiring. You know, I mean, there's good and there's bad. There's good because the guy was horrible, 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 horrible. So I'm glad he's gone. I think he was waiting for the whole lawsuit stuff and that all type of crap to finally go ahead and get out. Um, so from that standpoint, I think it's good. The other standpoint is I think it's bad because watching some of his horrible calls and the way the players reacted, that was good TV. That really was good TV. When you saw Kyle Schwarber get called out on that strike and the strikeout and the way he flipped out, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I was watching on I think it was Instagram. Will Clark, Will the Thrill, um, did a. They were asking him, and he told a story, and he said that he was batting. Angel was behind the plate. Guy threw a ball uh, about 3 inches outside, and Hernandez called it a strike. And Will said he, turned him and he said, Angel, um, is that as far out as you're going to let him go calling a strike? And Will, because that made strike two on Will. And Angel told him yes. The next pitch, according to Will Clark, it was 4 inches further outside. And Angel Hernandez rung him up. And Will turned to him and said, Angel, I thought you said he couldn't go out far, can't go anymore outside. Angel Hernandez said, hey, that pitch fooled me. So I said, that pitch fooled me. That's why I called it a strike. He said, Will says later on that night, they're out. He's getting a bite to eat. And the umpires are having dinner together. And Will Clark goes ahead and buys the umpire, Angel Hernandez, a couple of beers on his tab. And as he walks by, he just says, hey, how you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. And he says, and Angel Hernandez looked at him and said, you don't have anything else to say? And Will said, no. I said, hey, have a good night. He said, Angel Hernandez went ahead and said, thanks for the beers, appreciate it. And Will Clark said after that, his strike zone when Angel was behind the plate was extremely small. So, he said it worked out. Feel bad for the guy. No way that, no way he is that bad. It's so bad you can't imagine he's in the right frame of mind. Yeah, I agree. I don't to me, the thing that gets me is like, every umpire you can understand missing calls. But when you look at some of his, statistics, he was really, really bad. I think they said the one year he umped before he had to go out with a back problem. I think he umped like 10 games behind home plate. And in 10 games behind home plate, he missed like 150 calls or more. Another good dad joke, Maddie. Hope people got it. I don't know, man. If he wasn't the worst, then he's right there, Dami. He's 1A. If there's a number one, then he's definitely 1A. But hey, I don't know. The guy did it. The guy, after Indian games, I've seen some people screaming umpires leaving player or parking lot, like up to the window pointing and going at it. Wow. I saw on Instagram where actually Angel Hernandez signed an autograph. I got as he was leaving from behind the plate. I don't know if it was his last game or where it was, but a kid dropped a baseball and a pen, and Angel Hernandez signed the baseball, gave it back to the kid and everything. So I guess that's pretty cool. Excuse me a second. Gotta get a lozenge. Am I targeting anything specific at nationals? As of right now, no. Um, I have to look because I was trying to do a couple of Fred Lynn rainbows from like 2022 and 2023. Um, so I may look to see if I could, fill those. But that would probably be the only thing that I would look at. Nothing too specific. What about you, Arnie? Are you going to look for anything specific? Really? What do you guys think about Bowman Sapphire? Me personally, I was nobody will buy it, so it goes down. Um, well, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. Uh, yes, he can. uh, Overpriced. Yep. Rarely say anything because I rarely say that because I can sell anything. But past me first time in, yeah, I agree. I don't see the value when you look at the checklist and stuff. The problem the problem what you have with that product, I think that product is getting to a point where it's more bust than it is boom, in my opinion. I may be wrong, but I will tell you, I've seen more people spend $450 on a box of that and end up with for $85 worth of value back out of it. So I mean I love the way they look. They're such a good looking card. It just sucks that it just sucks at the price. Vintage set fillers. All right. Well, you could definitely do that there. Hey, if you could find them, that's awesome. I can't even find them anymore. That is true. That's definitely true. Most of your Bowman purists will eat up the Bowman First Sapphires. They will love that. Going to try to complete the Madrigal Rookie Rainbow from Stadium Club Chrome, then go bargain hunting for my PC, and got to get gifts for probably 30 or so community members. Hey, glad you could find them. I went to two card shops. I mean, I haven't seen him out in the wild. Uh, I haven't seen him in the wild, but I know, like I said, the two card shops by my house sold out of Bowman blasters. I want to get some chrome. I want to get some platinum anniversary for tomorrow night's rip and ship, but I don't know if I will be able to. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. It's been out for a while. My LCSs could be, sold out. So, yep. I have one LCS, that had them. Both my LCSs had them, but they were both charging different prices. One reasonable, one like what? Come on, man. You're a card shop. What the hell are you doing? Yeah. They probably have it. Some of the stuff is not like Bowman Sapphire, or even Top Sapphire. They I don't think they're going to go down. Not when you look at who some of the players are that are going to be in there right now. Though some of those players have too much potential in them. There were a couple, but they like close at 5 o'clock, and I just can't get there. Yeah, he got the hard one. Closet White Sox fan. There you go. Purple or pink. How was his rookie card in how is his rookie card in a Cubs uniform? Oh, not his rookie card. We just read it wrong. Oh. Because I still, that the prices are high because, because of breaking. In my opinion, I really think the breaking is driving the price up. Why? I don't understand, because people are not breaking retail. But Sapphire is not retail, right? You can only get it if you get in a break. So it's the break. And like I was saying, when you go ahead and you start to you start to look at the uh team checklist and stuff like this, I mean, it's not that great. It's definitely not that great when you look at some of the some of the thing, like when you look at the checklist. If you're looking at the checklist for Bowman Sapphire, okay, like the Mets don't even have a insert card. Mets have all base cards. Wow, Maddie, that's a pretty cool card. That's a pretty cool card, man. Yeah, Jet is yeah, he's an old kid. He's another one who would be nice to see the Mets go ahead and lock up. Him, Drew Gilbert, Luis Angel Acuna. You have those three. Right there. Uh, would be cool to see them try and do something. Uh, Personally, I think when they had the opportunity or potential that they could have traded Prada when Prada was being asked for in some of his in some of the what do you call it? Some of the trades, and they kind of held off on that. I think they made a mistake there. The kid we just drafted, Connor Hulk. A lot of people like him. We'll see what happens. Shortstop right now. Not sure he'll stay there. But Williams, Gilbert, Acuna, uh, Mauricio. There are some young guys there that it would be it would be interesting. Night, Aiden. So yeah, so Jet Williams, yeah, he's a good one. They did, and they got Clifford also. A lot of people don't realize they got Ryan Clifford, who's another top 10 potential prospect, or top 8, I think, prospect for them. So that was a uh, that was a good deal that they made with the Astros. You know, got Acuna from Texas, got Clifford and Gilbert from Houston. And the other one that a lot of people don't realize, when they traded Dave Roberts to Florida, they got two really good prospects. I think the one guy, Vargas, Miguel Vargas, I think he's another top ten prospect for the Mets. So yeah, I was very surprised that they gave up Gilbert, but I guess they figured, they needed. Hey, Jimmy, what's happening, buddy? How you doing? Um, I guess Astros thought, hey, if we get Verlander, that's all we need to push us over the top. And unfortunately, it didn't work. Yeah, I mean, it's a good deal. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a good deal if he doesn't hit it. I mean, but if he hits it, hey, it's a good deal for us. I still like it. We had to give him the 80 million. I mean, we basically paid for their contracts. It is. The game is rapidly, changing, and I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. When you look at, I was talking earlier, uh, about double A baseball. I went and watched double A baseball. And again, I'll say it again in case people are watching. They just started watching. I understand that in sports, hitting a baseball is probably the hardest thing to do. And I'm okay with that. I played the game long enough. I understand how difficult it is just as an amateur level. I can only imagine when you're playing against the best what it is. But I went to a double A baseball game and I was very surprised by the number of starters on both teams that were probably hitting 220 and below. I mean, I think there was a starter on one of the teams. The guy was hitting like 198. Um, and I just don't, I don't know. I don't go ahead and I don't go ahead and get it. How are these kids sticking around? But I guess who else is going to take their shoot? You still need people to fill the teams, but some of them just doesn't seem right. I'm not sure. There's a lot coming up right now. I think a lot of it being held on to for a little bit. Yeah, they will definitely they'll definitely have to go ahead and change. Even from a hitter perspective, no one's going to hit those numbers. I've said many a time, um, and when you look at uh, when you look at major league, what do you call it? I want to say records, but when you look at things like, hey, the most wins, the most this, the most that, when you look at, you know, if you look at pitching per se, let's see here. Can I get the pitching? Hold the phone. Where the hell is it? Oh, that's not. Oh, that's just 2024 leaders. When you look at, there you go, wins, okay, and you think about career wins. Yes, obviously we have Cy Young. When you come down to the 300 number, right? Randy Johnson 303, Tom Glavine 305. I saw both of those. I saw Tom Seaver. After that, if you're looking at active players, Verlander's at 260. Is Verlander getting 40 more wins in his career to get to 300? Because after him, Zach Greinke, Scherzer's at 214. Clayton is at 210. So so I don't know if you're right, Arnie. From a perspective, the numbers aren't going to be there what we're used to. And I guess that's what they're going to have to go to all this advanced crap, which I can't stand, but it is what it is. Yeah. Where is Zach? You mean Zach Greinke's only at 225? So Zach Greinke ain't getting to 300 anytime soon. Even if he was to play, he's 75 wins away. I don't necessarily know that he was that he would be that close. to getting there. 294. Nope. The only guy in the 290s is Bobby Matthews. 288 is Tommy John. 287 is Burt Blyleven. The number one guy that is still active right now is Verlander at 260. But Bob Gibson only had 251. But you look at what Bob Gibson did. Big difference, right? Yeah. Zach Greinke is ranked number 71. He has 225 wins. Oh, 3,000 strikeouts. Well, now you're changing everything, buddy. Golly. Oh, wait, that's hitters. We want pitchers. Strikeouts in a career. Zach Greinke is at 2,979. Yeah, Greinke needed 21 more. Greinke is number one right now. He's the number one guy below 3,000. Kershaw is at 2,944. After that, Chris Sale at 2,267. Garrett Cole at 2,152. So, going to be interesting. Yeah. I don't disagree with you. But you're right from a standpoint of how the mindset is going to have to change. But the truth of the matter is, and I know to me, I'm an old head. I'm not a big fan of the Hall of Fame. I think it is the Hall of the very good. I think, and people go, oh, so what you're saying is just, and I'm like, to me, the Hall of Fame is what it is. It's a great place to go, check out, to walk around, read the plaques, and see all the other kind of stuff. Oh, I agree. Stanton would definitely have been over 500 home runs if he didn't if he wasn't an injury guy. But like I was saying, the Hall of Fame, the stance they take on players, is just wrong. You talk about how, oh, we don't want PED, we don't want people who cheat, but you have Gaylord Perry in the Hall of Fame. Oh, you don't want people on because they went ahead, they took PEDs and stuff like that. You listen to the players from the 60s and the early 70s, there was always, reds and greens, to go ahead and give them that little extra boost of energy. And what is a PED? A guy who drinks a Monster before a game, is that not a PED? He's trying to go ahead and get an edge, give himself more energy. So it doesn't make a difference, anymore. It is just a popularity contest. It's who's liked. Let him get in. Who cares? I don't even really care about it anymore. It doesn't bother me, from that standpoint. I know the one player that we don't really like to mention, who pitched for a number of teams, who has a bunch of Cy Youngs. I think he should be in. I think Barry Bonds should be in. Um, if it's strictly off of a number perspective of number of home runs, then Mark McGwire should be in. Did Mark McGwire do a lot of other stuff? No. I mean, he was an average first baseman. I mean, he was good. He wasn't an average guy. He basically just hit home runs. So I guess, do you put him in? I don't care. Sammy Sosa, I don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me. Not a fan of the guy. Not a hater of the guy. I mean, he is who he is. It doesn't matter. I don't care. But if you're not going to go ahead and put him in because you're saying he cheated or did any other thing, and you have other players that, admitted to cheating, why bother? Yeah, managers go ahead and get in and the other stuff, and I don't know. I just look at it from a standpoint of it's easy to pick those guys out. They weren't all, you look at some of the guys they're keeping out, they weren't guys that were the most popular with the media also. So that can't help them. There's no way that helps their cause. I mean, you're right. And to me, he should be in. And people go, well, and please, and the bull crap that you hear of. What do you mean? There's stuff in there. It's just that his plaque's not there. And Barry Bonds is, look, the home run ball or the bat that was used or the cleats that he wore when he hit 756, and then when he hit number 73. Oh, look at all that's in there. Who cares? That's not being part of the Hall of Fame. That's being recognized as one of the best players to ever play the game. I agree. I agree, Dom, and I say, Dom, it brings a tear to my eye to know that you do have a nice side for Roger. Yeah, like I said, I don't care anymore. It really doesn't mean a damn thing to me. Add on to the building, because when you look at today's players, what we can look at today and we go, oh my gosh, what a great player that guy is. Well, what are we basing it on now? You compare, I mean, there's always going to be greats in that era, whatever era it is. So do those players automatically get in? So we have to, maybe we need to stop comparing, and saying, man, what would, I don't know, pick a player. What would Albert Pujols have been like if he played in the 60s or the 70s? Who knows? But who cares? He didn't. Albert Pujols was a great player. The problem we have with a lot of these players is see, the ones that we look at in the Hall of Fame, the old timers, what a lot of us think as the superstars, Ruth, Cobb, Mantle, Gehrig, we see the highlights of their careers, right? We don't know what we didn't really get a chance to see Mickey at the end, Babe at the end, Cobb at the end. But unfortunately today we see those guys at the end. So we see a Miguel Cabrera. We see an Albert Pujols. Hey, Mod, we got a bot. Mod, come on. Where's my mods? Tommy, Maddie. Bang. There we go. Thank you, sir. But I think that's what you're looking at, and I think that's where that's where sometimes where we forget how good these guys were. We forget how good Pujols was. We forget how good Miggy Cabrera was. You know, we're gonna forget how good Verlander was when his career starts to go, the way it was. Scherzer, we're gonna forget what he was like. Again. you know, I think that's where it is. These guys today, like it was different. When you go back to the 70s, the 80s, when you watch Steve Carlton bop from team to team to team, and you watch Tom Seaver, and you watch some of these guys, and they were doing it because they were chasing a number because they thought they had to have a number to get to the Hall of Fame, right? Today's guys, they they do well, and then they sign these contracts that take them past the years when they should be playing. And when it takes them past the years that it could be playing, we think about Albert the Machine when he was with St. Louis, and the stupid numbers that he put up. And then you see when he hurt himself and he could barely run, and you see where he was with Philadelphia. I mean, St. Louis. Not St. Louis. I'm sorry, the Dodgers. And then he came back to St. Louis, and look, even though he went ahead and had a decent little run there, it was still hanging on, hanging on, hanging on, trying to get those numbers. I wonder if Pujols wasn't at like 690 something home runs, if he was at 610, would he have hung around as much as he did? Probably not. Yeah, yeah. I think I think that's what it is. Well, I think yeah. Gibson pitch, Mays playing the 50s, Aaron playing those times. You know, right? Yeah, and that's the thing. You look at. I mean, just when we're trying to compare these guys to these all-time greats and stuff, I think that's where like there's that special wing, right? There's that special wing for Willie Mays and Bob Gibson and and Ty Cobb and Mickey Mantle and Gehrig and Ruth, Joe DiMaggio. There's a special wing, Jackie Robinson. There's a special wing for those guys, right? And then everybody else just kind of falls in place, from that standpoint. Yeah, I mean, but I hate to say it, Matt. There's going to be a lot of that kind of stupid stuff that's going to be done. I mean, Mark Grace, really good player. Put him in. I don't care. If you're going to put Harold Baines in, then Mark Grace deserves to go in. If you're going to put Scott Rowland in, I mean, come on. If someone says to you, "Hey, man, I'm going to give you a list of third basemen, and you get to pick the top 10 third basemen. I'm going to give you a list of like 50." In reality, is Scott Rowland going to be in there? He might, but he's not making that high. He's probably right around 10 or 9 or 10. So I just think it from that standpoint. Yeah. I think I think part of that had to do with when you get that close and you don't have many more years. You're like, hell, I'm just going to swing for the fences every single time, and I'm going to get those numbers. And it is what it is, and I'm going to be done. You know. Well, what about Dale Murphy? Dale Murphy's right there. Um, Fred McGriff has 493. I thought Dale Murphy. Oh no, Dale Murphy is close to 3,000 hits, right? Isn't Dale Murphy just like a few from hits? Huh. I thought Dale Murphy was a lot closer in some of these categories. I guess I'm wrong. What the hell's Dale Murphy? What's that was Dale? What's that they talk about Dale Murphy at so much that he was so close to? Beltray 477, McGriff 493. Lou Gehrig only had 493. Chipper Jones 468. Yep, I agree. Murphy, Manning, Lee, Clark, all very, very close. Yeah, you know, yeah, I agree. Yeah, McGriff definitely should have gotten in a lot sooner. He went ahead and deserved, to get in a heck of a lot sooner than what he got in. You know, I don't know. We'll see. Injury is part of the game. You know, uh, I think that's one of the things. I don't know. That's like we're watching Mike Trout, and I wonder about him. Yeah, Palmeiro and Will Thrill were two of the best ever. Um, but like I said, I don't know. I wonder about you know what some of these numbers are going to look like. What's going to happen with Trout. With him, with his career. You look at some of these guys. I mean, what about Jacob DeGrom? You know, obviously you can't based off of his career. He has not pitched. Uh, he has not pitched enough. But my gosh, when you look at the couple of years he had when he was healthy, holy crap! But again, there are people. People who say he's one of the greatest pitchers ever. So does he get put in no matter what his record is, no matter what his numbers are? So I mean, what are the numbers truly going to mean? When are the When when will the numbers not mean anything? And I don't think they ever will. The numbers don't mean anything when the numbers mean everything. Just the way it is. Well, gang, I am struggling a little bit trying to talk here. I'm still. Oh, hold on a second. What do you say here? Yeah, I think that's what you'll see, Arnie. I think Trout will become a DH. He should be back this year DHing. Uh, I wonder if he'll move to left field. I can see him. I can see him potentially, moving to left field. I don't know how he is. Hey, does he pull a Bryce Harper, and maybe does he come in and try and become a first baseman to keep him, in the game, in the field, from that standpoint. But I think you're right from a Trout perspective. Yeah. Yeah, I think you figure from a standpoint of is he probably turns into a lot of DH more. Uh, yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. You know, but I wonder. Like I said, I think at some point in time he's got to move. I don't I don't remember how strong his arm is, so I don't know if he's a right fielder, but I think he's definitely a left fielder. Take a lot of wear and tear there. DH is going to help him. I mean, well, that's made a difference anyway. He was in the American League, But now, if he wants to go to the National League and let's say come to Philly or come to the East Coast, now there's more teams that it's available to, with every team having the DH. And I think it wouldn't surprise me. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shut down, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out and chatting. Um, Hopefully, I'll see some of you guys tomorrow night. If not, definitely go ahead and see you next week. Back home. I can't wait for it. Talk to you guys later. Appreciate all the support. Thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. Thanks a lot, fellas. Have a good one. Sorry for the interruption with the internet there.